up, Nancy? Ivy, what up? Maddie. Blue Dreams, Paul, what up, everybody? How's everybody doing? This is my Monday secret stream. Welcome everybody. So we don't really hang out too much in Boulder in the daytime, so that's what this stream is going to be like today. I wanted to start up on the hill that I was just showing, and I went up there. There's a place there called the Atmospheric Research Center. I tried to go up there to start the stream because there's usually some wildlife on the hills, some deer, stuff like that. When I went up there just now, there wasn't enough signal, so I aborted that. I'm back down in the regular part of Boulder, like the part that has a little bit better reception. I put it down to 720p just in case, just so we wouldn't buffer as much. But this is just going to be a very chill daytime stream. Last time I tried to take us over by the Benet Ramsey house, it was too dark and I couldn't do it. So yeah, this is just going to be a quick stream. Welcome everybody. There's a huge hawk. Let me see if I can find it. No. There's a big hawk circling over here. This is what the hill looks like during the daytime. This building right here, U.S. Department of Commerce, Boulder Laboratories. This has an atomic clock in it. And it's one of the ones that is like the official time setting clock. The building that's behind me right now used to be my dentist. And this was the view from the dentist office, which was so dope. If you're just getting here, welcome. I'm just going to kind of cruise around for a little bit. I have some copyright-free music that's going to play. So enjoy. This is Boulder in the daytime. It is really pretty. Seems like it might rain later in the day. I know for sure it's going to rain on Wednesday. And these are the Boulder flat irons. Yesterday, Linda and I went to Estes Park. And that's what I was going to attempt to stream. And then sort of the same thing happened. I got there and it had maybe 1 or 2 bars of low signal. So I was too scared to light it up. I didn't want to buffer out. How far are the fires from you? I don't know. I can't smell any smoke and I can't see any like indications of the fire, so that's good. Sort of right on the first road inside of the Flatirons. And I think this is as far west as I can go before the reception gets really bad. This street is Broadway. And so Broadway kind of runs over by the campus, by the college campus, University of Colorado, CU Boulder, or Colorado University. Are you in your truck or a rental? This is still the rental. This is my last day of the rental, I think. They called me today and said that it was already at $5,500 for the repairs. And Linda's not stoked on that. We thought that it would be around $3,000, and then they called me back at the end of the week and said it's probably more like $4,800. And then they called me today and said it's almost ready to pick up. It's at $5,500. I'll let you know when I actually get it back what the damage is. Hey, what up, Ellie? What up, Julie? Zippy? Ozja? I don't know how to say that. Yvonne, what up? Blue Dream. I'm gonna try to... Ooh, I'm in the wrong lane for that. I'm gonna try to take us over by the Benet Ramsey house. I think I read that they were trying to sell it for $7 million, which seems like a lot, but if you actually see the layout of that house, it's such a huge house. It doesn't look like it from the outside. The reason I know it's huge is because I watched a documentary about the layout of the house, and Linda and I were just sitting there like, this is a huge, huge, huge house. It doesn't look like it from the street. And then its proximity to the campus. The campus is just to my right. And this is a really pretty area. I think anything within close proximity to the university is going to be more expensive just because you can rent it to... You could turn it into like a frat house if you wanted to. It seems like a lot of the frat houses here used to just be regular houses. Except for these. See all these brick houses? A lot of these are sororities and frats. It reminds me of like Animal House. This is a really pretty time of the year. It's been raining a lot. Last night we had a big storm, lightning and thunder. It was really pretty. This area has just gotten a lot of rain. And yesterday when we were in Estes Park, the area is also Rocky Mountain. I just wanted to see if I had enough reception for the Benet house. And it kind of looks like I don't. 775. Okay, it's like 2 more on the right. If you can still hear me, I'm just gonna give this a quick attempt, and then if it doesn't work, then I'll get out of here. It's kind of in the middle of these trees. It was pretty covered anyway, so I don't know how much you would have really seen. There was just a van, if you can hear me, there's a van that I just passed back there. Here, I'm gonna drive back and look at it. It looks like it has a radar gun on the roof, and it took a picture of the car both directions that I went. It's this van right here. Just a picture of me on the way down the hill and the way up. Look at it, says City of Boulder. Wow. Reception's bad. I'm getting out of this area. I'm going back to the more popular spot. Here. I'm also using this app. It's called Prism. It's a free app. It's not the greatest. I thought maybe we could squeeze some better reception out. What I was using this weekend in Denver was Camerify, which I think is a little bit better. I'm in the neighborhood just south of the campus. And as I get closer to the campus, the reception gets better. Okay, this is where I wanted to be. I think the reception's pretty strong right here. This is called The Hill. That we've seen a lot at night, not really in the day. I already like how empty it is here during the day. This is where I got that epic sandwich. Look, there's a lady just living right here with like mattresses and everything right beside the Fox Theater. Wow. Looks like she has a bunch of Legos too. Julian Marley, wow. Why is there music playing? I have some copyright-free playlist on right now. Look at this Cybertruck. It's like a copper wrap Cybertruck. This is my backup channel, the Jeremy Reed 1980 channel. It doesn't get as many of the copyright strikes as the larger channel. When they send the notification to the music holder, they get the choice whether to take the proceeds or not, and I'm not monetized on this channel. Well, I am monetized, I just didn't turn it on. It's a bodega. Yep, the woman that was living or that was chilling in front of Fox Theater, I'm assuming she's unhoused. Usually those mattresses and whatever are all over here at the end of May. That's when all the students that are from out of town just kind of throw away their furniture. They don't try to sell it a lot of the time. When I was in high school, my mom and I used to come up and upgrade our like end tables and outdoor lawn furniture, stuff like that. It would just be sitting right next to the dumpster and it was in good quality. So we would just take it home, hose it down, then clean it again, then clean it a third time. That was way before social media where you could try to do like a Facebook marketplace sale, something like that. Cheryl Bryant, hello Jeremy. Hey, what up? I think at some point before I turn the stream off, we'll get rained on. I wish we had enough reception to take you up into the mountains. This next major stoplight, if we were to take a left, we could go up to an area called Boulder Falls. Really pretty waterfall. This time of the year it's kind of raging, which is great. It has like a lot of bass. You can hear like how powerful it is, and the water's super clean. Yesterday when we were in Rocky Mountain National Park, the air was just super crisp, clean. I did take a couple videos there. When I park, I'll show you the videos. I was telling Linda before we went to Estes, I said, yeah, there are all these little teeny ground squirrels everywhere. And I said, you'll definitely see them. And they're going to come up to you and like beg for food because a lot of people feed them. But it's illegal to feed them. And when we got up there, there were a lot of people giving them like peanuts and pistachios and stuff like that. But I told her, I was like, we can't do that. It's somebody will record us doing it. We'll get in trouble. Hold on, I'll show you a couple of the videos. And so when I was talking about the ground squirrel, this is one of them. So they're smaller than squirrels. They're smaller than prairie dogs. And you can see this little guy or girl is taking this little orange, kind of looks like a cutie orange, and just filling its cheeks. And it looks like you can see the bulge in the cheeks just getting bigger and bigger. And then at the end, he or she left with this whole orange in its cheeks. Probably drank the orange juice, but like kept all the pulp and whatever in its cheeks. Look at his little hands. And I think that was Linda's favorite part. I'll show you, because there were some babies up there. This one's definitely not a baby. Linda was calling this one Chonkers, because he was a little chonk. And he was trying to be so quiet too, because at the end of the video, somebody comes and tries to like steal what he's eating. Oh, right there, somebody, that one tried to steal what he was eating. Look, that one found like a little walnut. I like how their fingers and toes look. So yeah, that was the highlight for Linda, was seeing all those. This is kind of what the little babies have, this striped marking. I think most of them do, but they're so fast. They, right when we got there, literally like 5 seconds after we parked, one came over. Here's a baby. One came over and stood right in front of Linda and then did the like prairie dog begging pose. This one was just sitting there getting fat. But they were super cute. And here are a couple other highlights. So this is the rock right when you go into Estes Park. There's a rock right there. And then we stopped at this rock shop because I love fossils. I love seeing fish that are like fossilized into the rock. These are just a couple pictures of like, these are tons of fish in that one rock. This is a turtle. I wanted that one. And we got to see, like, this is one that has a lot of them. We got to see the really cool river. Oh, there's maybe. Oh no, I didn't think I cut off her head. Wait. I think I might have a better one of her. Oh no, I thought I got the whole face and I didn't. Oh no, I didn't realize that till just now. Anyway, this was the moon last night. It was red. It was like glowing red, like a volcano. And there was a thunderstorm. Let me see if I can show you the thunderstorm. Okay, this was the storm last night. See the strike right there in the middle? Linda was decaffeinated. Okay, let me go back to the chat. So yeah, I really love the weather out here. I think that's probably, other than the people, like, there's just some of my favorite people live here. The weather is amazing. And just like today, for instance, it was raining earlier. It would look really stormy, and then out of nowhere it would look really sunny, which is a lot of rainbow activity. I was telling Linda about this. See this Iowa license plate? See the bottom? The Iowa license plates have the county on the bottom. So when you're in Iowa, you can go around the parking lot and be like, oh, this person's from my area. This person's from the other side of the state, the other corner. I think that's a cool feature, showing the counties. And where we are right here, this is where that terrorist attack thing happened. This is where I went live that night, right here in this little intersection here. This is a very historic area. That attack stuff happened right through here. So that's City Hall, the building in the kind of top right. And so they had this whole area police taped off. And then this area on my left, this is where we see Michael Stax playing. You can see all of the flowers, tons of flowers. We were out here when this was tulips, and now it's different flowers. But yeah, he plays right there in that corner. And the attack stuff that happened was just right here. So literally like 15 steps away from where he is every night, right here. Bohemian Beer Garden. Bergarten. And then I think our friend Amy from the chat doesn't live too far away from here either. And when I first heard about it, I was like, there's just no way. This is one of the most calm, chill, peaceful areas. And then when I saw the video, I was like, what the heck? Ooh, look at this dude's dirt bike. That's a cool bike. It looks like he's watching the stream. What up, bro? He's just barely touching his tippy toes to keep it up. I see so many people on bikes, scooters, things like that, checking text messages while they're riding. It's already dangerous, like being in traffic, but they're... Oh, this dude just pulled over to like send a text on the right. Reading GPS. Maybe he got a weather notification that was like, get home. There's hail on the way. No helmet law in Colorado. I don't think there is a helmet law. I'm pretty sure there's not. And then just, I think within the last year, they approved bikers, motorized bikers, to split lanes like they do in California. So that was a thing that couldn't happen maybe 2 years ago, and now you can split lanes. I'm almost positive there's no helmet law. Which is, I mean, I know a lot of people that ride bikes, like motorcycles. You pretty much want to wear a helmet. If you've ever flown off the bike. So when I moved out here, I don't know, 9 months ago or something like that, I was riding my bike. I was riding my e-bike without a helmet. And then if I did have a helmet on, it was just kind of the top, like, hat looking helmet. And then I flew off the bike twice. First one wasn't super bad. Wasn't bad enough for me to wear a helmet full time. The second one was pretty bad. And then I realized at that point, I was like, okay, I need to quit while on my head. I'm not gonna stop flying off this bike. And a lot of this other stuff can heal. The head is pretty important. So yeah, now I wear a full helmet. Even though the other night I went out on a cruise and I didn't wear it, but when I'm not wearing it, I tone it down a lot. And then when I have it on, I'm a little bit crazier. It's a big helmet. Like, I look like Darth Helmet from Spaceballs. But it'll be worth it the first time that I fly off and skid my head on the street and get a big raspberry on it. What's everybody up to today? This is Monday. Here it's Monday at 4:15. I'm thinking that they're going to call me and say that I can come pick up the Jeep today. And so I'll have to return this rental, take my, here's my little mount that I have on the windshield. It's my favorite mount. Take this off. I love how like close this is to the windshield. So I can just pop it on like that. There's a magnet on the back of my phone. Whenever I'm in and out of these rentals, the taking off of that mount is always one of the hardest parts. Because in order for it not to be moving up and down a lot, it really has to have a good sticker. And because it's a good sticker, it's really hard to get off. I usually end up like bending a credit card or something to try to get it off. Quit while you're ahead. Ellie's still working. I'm fighting with my air conditioner. Oh no, it's peeing on my carpet. I've been there before. The apartment that Linda and I had in LA, it didn't have any air conditioning. I swear it was like from the 60s. The kitchen had mint green tile, so did the bathroom. It looked like it was out of like the Laverne and Shirley pre-70s even, and no air conditioning. So we went to Home Depot and we bought 2 swamp coolers, one for the bedroom, one for the living room, and they were huge, and they had this huge hose that you would have to put out the window for all of the dripping. And there was an apartment, we had the second floor apartment, there were only 2 floors. The apartment beneath ours just always had a hose dripping down because that was from our swamp cooler. And then the other part that was so sketchy was we had to leave that exhaust hose in the window. And because of that, we couldn't close, oh, whoa, I gotta show you this. We couldn't close the window. And if you know LA, like, you don't want to leave a window open, especially if somebody walks by and sees that it's open. They could just come into the window while you're there. But then we were always scared to leave because we were like, people know that we don't have a security system. I mean, it was such an old thing. So check this out. This is a Cybertruck that has a camper, but then it's also towing a second camper. So the one that it's towing behind here, that white part is a pop-up. And I don't know if this, it kind of looks like they're both pop-ups. And I've been hearing from people, Cybertruck 1. I've been hearing from people that the Cybertruck is so dope to go camping with. But this is the first time I've seen this sort of camper. The first vehicle I ever had was a VW bus, and it had a pop-top tent like this. You couldn't drive when it was popped up, but I actually loved it. One of my friends from this chat emailed me that they just got a new Tesla. That might be the thumbnail right there. Unless something crazier happens. I like that. And we're kind of in stealth camping. We're in the Mork and Mindy area. I think it's 1 block over. But when I drive this area at night, it's too dark to see anything on either side of the street. So I kind of just want to take a couple laps and show you what these neighborhoods look like. A lot of older houses that look like they haven't been remodeled in a long time. And I think one of the reasons is every year, like end of August, when students start coming back, there might be new freshmen that have never been here. There might be people that lived in the dorms previously and now they're going to live off campus. They don't have a lot of choices of where to go. And so basically everything that's rentable rents. And I ran into that when I lived in San Francisco. I moved in early 2000s, like end of 1999, 2000. I moved up to San Francisco and I registered with, there used to be a thing called Westside Rentals, and I registered with them, and they would give me all of these leads of like people that had a studio apartment or a 1-bedroom shared. And so at the time I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be at the apartment a lot. I could just have a shared apartment. And then meeting all of the people that were looking for roommates kind of scared me off of that. People were like, you need to be in by 8 p.m., no noise after 9:30 p.m., just like crazy stuff like that. And I didn't know if that's just how they really wanted it or if they knew they could get away with stuff like that. Maybe they had a bad experience before and they needed to put those guidelines on. One apartment I looked at, it had 2 broken elevators. So we had to walk up like 4 or 5 flights of stairs. We get to this beat up apartment. It had like indoor, outdoor carpet that there were huge pieces missing. I want to say it was like $1,300 or $1,400 for just one room. Kitchen on the side. It was just a studio. And I was like, oh, you know, I could probably make this work. It was in the Mission area in San Francisco. And I look out the window and it looked out onto a black tar roof of the next building over. And the roof was 100% covered with trash that people had thrown out from the apartment building that I was going to potentially rent from. So like people had just thrown water bottles and whatever trash. And that was the view. The view was just me looking down onto all this trash. And the apartment was pretty trashed. And I looked at the guy that was showing me the apartment and I was like, did this just recently come up for rent? Because it looks like they didn't clean anything up in here. Like, I'm surprised you'd even show this to me being in this condition. And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, no, people that rent here don't have to clean it up. He's like, they just rent it. They assume that you're going to clean it up because you're the one that has to live here. And I was like, that's what the market is? And he's like, totally. It's like seller's market. He's like, they don't need you, you need them. I was like, wow. So if I rent this place, they're not even going to clean any of this up? And he's like, no, they're assuming that you're going to repaint it, you're going to clean it up. I was like, no. So I stayed less than a year in San Francisco. Spent all the money that I was saving up for a place, just like staying with other people and buying them dinner and stuff so that I could sleep on their couch. You can see the foothills in the background. I think people just want to be in the city here because you're so close to the Flatirons. So if you run a lot, bike a lot, maybe you climb mountains, the best hiking ever, in my opinion, is right here. I know a lot of people that want to live here just for the bouldering. So not necessarily rock climbing, but not hiking. It's like just more extreme. And my friends that do that, they take these mattresses up with them. And so they'll be rock climbing. And then one of their friends will be close with a mattress so that if they fall, they can throw the mattress. It's not an actual mattress, but a cushioned thing. And they throw it underneath, so if they fall, they land on that. And I see that a lot. We're not talking high, we're talking like, 20 feet or less. But instead of just falling and getting hurt, they fall on this little mattress thing. So this is the side of the campus that we're creeping up on right now. University of Colorado, Boulder. So this is called CU. They have several other campuses. One of them CU at Denver. And I took some classes there when I was in high school, but I didn't have to pay full price. If you are a student at any of the surrounding ones, like there's a college there called Metro, there's a college there called CCD, which is like Colorado Community College. If you are a student at either one of those, they have like an they'll let you take classes at any of the different universities. This thing right here where they're holding the buffalo, they run the buffalo up and down the field before the game. So if you ever come watch a game here, this is where Deion Sanders is the coach. They call him Coach Prime. If you ever come watch a game in person, you'll probably see that buffalo run. I forgot what his name is. It feels like all of the raccoons went home for summer vacation too. Or maybe they just come out more when students are here. Alright, I'm going to show you just a little bit of what it looks like inside the stadium, because it's so hard to see this at night. What's also crazy is I'm going to leave the car running. I trust it. I've been to a couple games here, not since I moved back. But this is what the field looks like. Ooh, it just got really windy. And that's the screen right above. Like the replay screen. But this is where Deion Sanders is the coach. And his two sons were playing here. It's a nice field. Sheesh, it just got so windy. Alright, this is the vehicle that I had all weekend. It's a Chevy Enclave. But it's some special edition. This is the special edition. It's supposed to be like a Denali. And they said that this is like kind of upgraded. It's not too bad. I would never buy it, but it hasn't been terrible. Oh no, sorry, Buick. It's a Buick. It only held 14 gallons of gas. Probably because it's a hybrid. Here's how I'm listening to the music on. Here's how I'm reading the chat. And then here's my little magnet on the dash. The only thing I know about Buick is that they used to sponsor Tiger Woods. And so Tiger was always driving around these different Buicks, and I would always read about Tiger getting DUIs, and then they would show the different Buick, and I'm like, it was almost like he was showing how they crashed. Like, you know, if you're gonna buy a new vehicle, you always look at and see, like, what's the crash rating? He was almost the spokesperson that, like, showed you what the actual crash would look like. And then, I don't remember when, but Buick dropped him, and then he got a sponsorship from Genesis. And Genesis is the one that he flipped hood over trunk in California. He was leaving some event, or he was leaving the hotel, going to some golfing event. And this was kind of just south of LA. And he flipped the SUV, but he flipped it, the butt going over the hood, which is so crazy. And it's even crazier that he, like, wasn't hurt doing that. I'm gonna try to show you the view. We're kind of up on the hill. It just got super windy. Whoa! Super windy. You look down and this is sort of like a wilderness thicket area. There's water straight in here. You probably can't see it. Straight in there. And then this is what it looks like when it rains, but the rain doesn't hit the ground. When I was growing up, we used to see this pretty much every day, that it was stormy. So it rains, and then before it actually touches the ground, it evaporates. And it's really cool when you see it from miles away, because you can see where it stops. So you're like, oh, it's raining about halfway down, and then it just evaporates. This is a really good hill to go hiking on. Kind of lower level. And then as you see, like over here, this has actual like boulders, rocks that you can get a little bit crazier on. And then Linda and I went deep into these mountains over here on the right. We went just past Long's Peak. And this crane's been here for a long time. Building whatever this is that's part of the campus, I think. And then super nice view looking out. This is looking east. But really cool birds here. There's a bird called magpie. Let me see if I can zoom in this one. We saw some very colorful birds yesterday in the mountains. That's what's been cool for us. We've been in California for the last 20 years. It's nice just to see different flowers, different wildlife, different birds, and weather. It just seemed like Southern California didn't have weather. It was just the same day over and over again, which at the beginning was amazing. So we were like, oh, it's like a summer day every day. If anybody remembers, I found a nest of, I think they were egrets. They kind of looked like herons, but everybody in the chat said they were egrets. There was a nest right by the apartment that I lived in Irvine. And I would see them every day, like on my way to Ralph's, which we went to probably twice a week. We would see this nest. And I think it was last summer they had babies, and I did a couple live streams where I was watching it. It's on the other channel, the LAOC TV Jeremy Reed channel. But it was so cool because we got to see the babies, and I got a lot of footage of the babies, And then we saw them grow up, and then the mom and dad were teaching them how to hunt and fish. There's a little waterway right below it. And then I got some footage of the babies not only leaving the nest and like venturing out for the first time, but then hunting, fishing in the water. It was so cool. So we saw them when they were little, and then we saw them like just growing up. And this is the back part of CU campus. I think all of most of the high schools in the area have their graduation ceremony here. I had mine here in the late 90s. I graduated in 98. So my high school had the ceremony here. And then one of the memorable concerts that I saw here, Pearl Jam in 93 at the CU Fieldhouse here. And I bought a bootleg shirt in the parking lot, which is my favorite shirt. Look at these kids on the right. It looks like they're walking through like a hurricane. They have their heads down, like Chinook winds coming through here. So this is Folsom Street. That's Folsom Field. Did the shirt say Pearl Yam? I think the only album they had out at that point was 10, and the shirt that everybody had was this like stick figure guy, and it was a mixture of the album 10 with that stick figure guy in front of it. So this is the football stadium here that we just saw the inside of. And the color of the brick here, a lot of the dorms have this same color brick, and so you can sort of tell what's associated with the school and what's not. A lot of it is associated with the school. Here, I'll try to come up in here and look back. So yeah, there's the stadium. I had a lot of family and friends that went to school here. So they wear a ton of like this buffalo with the CU on it. Very popular. And then my friends and I would ride the free bus from our area, and we would come just kind of unload on the campus here and then skate around. And then once my friends started going to school here, we were always on this campus. Going to the planetarium, getting kicked out by different security guards. There were always lots of little rallies that were like free Leonard Peltier, and they're always trying to get somebody liberated from jail, it seems like. But here's the top of, so this, I think that's a dorm right here. And then you can see how close they are to the Flatirons. Ooh, and I like this person's tires. They have like mint green tires. Ooh, that looks good. Are those rain clouds? Yeah, those are rain clouds. You can tell when it's really dark on the bottom. Another thing that's cool about this area is when the sun starts setting, the clouds will get like a silver lining. the sun will be behind the cloud, and it will highlight the exterior of the cloud in like a silver pattern. It looks really cool. Ton of flowers in the summertime. We swapped up. We were seeing a lot of coastal California ocean flowers, and now this is, I think this area is kind of considered like a desert, sort of like Vegas. But just very unique flowers, lots of sunflowers. And because it gets so much rain, just a lot of trees, a lot of green. And then I like this color. I don't know what tree this is, but it's like a dark raspberry looking color. And in the summer when it starts changing, it looks really cool. This is Melissa's car right here. And it looks like she works at Chick-fil-A. I'm just kidding. She's trying to make this look like a cow. It kind of looks like a golf cart that got hit by a bunch of golf balls to me. I don't know if we could drive through here. Residential zone, let's try it. I don't think there are enough people to stop us. No private vehicles. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, the cars that I saw parked here are all vehicles from the college. So yeah, we're not supposed to be in here. This is dorm. I think. Definitely looks like it. And then as you're driving into town, there are two huge towers that have this kind of brick, and those are dorms too. Jeez, look how windy it just got. It was slamming against the back of the car. I think I'm gonna see some maybe hail, definitely some severe weather on its way. Look at this sign is a rockin'. I'm sure Linda's tired of it, but I comment like almost daily how much I like having weather back. We're storm chasing. When I was picking up the rental car, this woman was dropping off a BMW, and I was so stoked because I sat in the rental spot for over an hour. They're like, we can't rent you a car until somebody returns a car. And so she returned a car. Ooh, this is the tree Linda likes. See how it's like yellow on the top and green underneath? Linda likes that one. These look really cool in like August, September when they start changing colors. But the woman that was returning the BMW, she came in all chipper. She was like an older Latino woman, and she was just very like happy, like, hey, you know, I'm just bringing back the car. They're like, how'd you like it? She's like, oh, it's fine. You know, I had it for just a 2 weeks or something. Oh, there's a boot on this golf cart. No. Did they boot it themselves so somebody wouldn't take it? Or is this somebody's private golf cart that shouldn't have been here? They had to get a super tiny one for the golf cart. Maybe that's the thumbnail. I don't know yet. Probably Cybertruck. They booted it themselves. That's what when I was in Seattle and I got that ticket, I kept putting the ticket on the front of the car. Like, oh, you already got me. I was showing everybody that on Friday night I brought Linda out with me, and I was showing the video of the Boot Girls. Hold on, I'm gonna leave the car running. The Atlanta Boot Girls that will come for $100 and take the boot off. Alright, it's Colorado, so I'm just gonna leave the car running with the keys in it. I think we'll be okay. Just wanted to show you this real quick. Oh, and he's flexing his manhood. He's got a harp. And he's naked fire dancing. And this is art, so it's okay that he's naked. As long as it's art. Gotta be art though. Interesting. No loincloth needed. And look at the bulge on the grate. They're great. And that's where it comes in right there. Beep. I would never leave my car running with the key in it in Southern California. Unless I was like intentionally trying to get it stolen for like insurance purposes or something. We got two good doggies right here. And it is starting to rain. What up, Hank? What up, Julie? Car Free KC, what up? Haven't seen you in a minute. What up, Jetta? Wow, that white dog is really pretty. It just started to rain. This is Baker Hall. I'm almost positive this is dorms. Usually when I'm over here, I'm on a bike or a scooter or a skateboard. Something that I really don't have to worry about what roads I'm on, because you can kind of go on them all. Oh, we're at CU. I just applied for a job there. Really? I hope you get it. That'd be dope. I think this is one of the prettiest campuses, especially since it's just tucked right into the foothills. This is the stadium, and then right here it's raining and then evaporating before it even gets like halfway down. Linda's like, it looks like the clouds are drooping. I'm like, yeah, that's rain. When I was growing up, I would just see that all day, every day. Very natural to see it like not hitting the ground. And then when I moved to California, I was trying to tell Linda about that. I was like, yeah, in Colorado, you can see it rain, but then it doesn't touch the ground. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, it evaporates before it hits the ground. And she's like, no. Like, yeah, that's what happens. And then when we moved here, she was like, I finally understand what you were saying all that time. It's raining, but it never actually touches the ground. That's a huge telescope right there. That's awesome. And then lots of pretty flowers. I hope you get the job. I don't see why they wouldn't hire you. You have everything they're looking for. I don't know how to get out of here. It says do not enter. And I didn't see an exit behind us. Maybe there's one over here. I know, I'm great. If they don't hire you, that's their loss. They don't deserve you. Hopefully I don't have to ask one of these like high school kids. These kids look so young. Yeah, they look like they were in high school in May. And I guess I'll go right here and see if there's a different exit for us. I might have to put the phone down and then drive on the sidewalk for a minute. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. As far as you know. Yeah, I'm seeing, like, this looks like a tour of high schoolers that are like potentially coming to the school here. Has anybody ever seen Road Trip with Tom Green? Where Tom Green is like showing them around the campus? That's what this looks like. Or PCU. Has anybody ever seen PCU? With Jeremy Piven and who else is in it? David Spade. These are little baby kids right here. Oh, it just doesn't end. Oh, here they are. Yeah, these are high schoolers. I can tell. Even though I don't see any pajamas. And no shower caps. But this is the trend right now. Girls are wearing like bigger jeans. See how they're so big on the bottom? That's kind of how it was when I was in high school. It was like Jinko jeans. Oh, they're just gonna walk across the road? Sick. When I was in elementary school, the popular brand was Gecko. If anybody remembers that. So I would wear like Gecko parachute pants with maybe a No Fear shirt. And then when I got into high school, it ended up being Jinko jeans. So huge bottom jeans. Hey, this kid right here in the all black has my shoes on. Whoa, this kid looks a lot like me. His shoes right there. That's what I'm wearing. These are like some of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. They're this, I don't know what that is. Some like special Nike shoes. But they have tons of air in the back and the front. They're so comfortable. I love them. And I have some very squishy insoles. I think they're called like Walk Hero or something like that. The insoles are very cushy and spongy. And then the shoes themselves are very cushy. So the combo is insane. And I got them at the Nike outlet mall. So when you go to the Nike outlet, when you go to the very back wall, they have kind of overstock shoes that are super cheap. And then sometimes they'll put the discount on top of that. And I got these shoes for like, I want to say $68. And originally they were like $170. So yeah, always go into the outlet stores, go to the back and see if they have really good deals in your size. Linda goes there and buys little boys' shoes because she wears like a size 5 in women's. So she can shop in the little boys section. And she's gotten some like really good deals. Oh no, this girl in red's trying to get him to go a different way. Oh, they just walked the opposite direction they needed to. Look at this homie on a one wheel right here. He is scooting too. The TN emblem stands for tuned air. Nice, Jetta, thank you. I remember seeing these when they first came out, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to be able to get those. They're going to be like 150 forever. And then I got lucky at the outlet. I still don't know how to get out. I might have to actually ask one of these people walking a dog how I get out of here. Because this is where it dead ended up here, where I got out to see the statue of the guy that had his manhood just flared out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask somebody. Oh, this is gonna be so embarrassing too. I'll let you guys watch the dogs while I ask how to get out of here. Oh my God. It's so windy out here. I think I'm gonna ask the guy that's in the other vehicle. There was somebody behind me that has their hazards on now. I'm gonna ask them. And if they don't tell me, then I'm just gonna follow them out. Can pet that dog. Did you see, when I was live streaming on Saturday, did you see the guy that tried to pet the horse? And the lady that was running the carriage ride was like, get away from my horse. Here, I'm gonna ask this dude. Hey, excuse me, man. Do you know how I get out of here? Oh, it's okay. He said, I do not speak English. Sorry, man. Perfect. He knew too. He just couldn't. He couldn't tell me. It's okay. Oh, I see somebody leaving. All right. That person that's leaving, I'm just gonna follow them. And if they go on the sidewalk, then we're going on the sidewalk. And if the gate opens for them, then we're gonna do 2 cars on the gate. No, don't park. Oh, okay, I think this wraps around to the right. Okay. I thought this was the end of the parking lot. Let's go see what this scooter crew is doing real quick. There's a ton. Oh, this dude's on. Oh, that's a girl on a 1-wheel. And then this is a scooter crew right here. See, if I was doing a tour of the campus, I would probably just rent a scooter too. Send it, Jeremy. That's gonna be my new merch shirt. Me like off the ground on the scooter, and then on the back of the shirt it says "Send it, Jeremy." And I'll have like a postman outfit on. This is a good day to fly a kite. Actually, maybe not. If you have a key on the bottom, so you can get that lightning strike. Oh, this is Ketchum Arts and Sciences Hall right here. Ketchum. It's like Pokemon, you gotta catch them all. That was the saddest horse? I thought so too. There's actually 2 of them. So one usually has blue hooves and then one has red hooves. Oh man, this is where I grew up skateboarding right here. College of Music right here on the left. Here's the Buff Bus. It is looking blustery out. University Hill Elementary School in front of us. That orange building. So I did not get a message from the dealership that has my car. So I'm assuming that I cannot have it back tonight. Hold on. We're gonna get in the mix here. Oh, look at it raining halfway down right in front of us. And then look at this sign. Colorado Shakespeare Festival. That sign is jumping. Huge buffalo on the side of the building here. Yeah, and look at the rain. It's just hanging down. And then behind it is a beautiful day. This is a frat, I think. So a lot of these houses and sororities, fraternities, they used to have really old couches on the front that would smell like garbage because they'd be like getting rained on, snowed on. And then, I don't remember, probably in the 2020, well, you might want to check on the actual dates yourself, but like around the George Floyd protest time, they outlawed those couches because everybody was making bonfires out of them because they were worth nothing. They were worth less than nothing. And, you know, everybody seemed to have one on their front porch. And so, yeah, when all the riot stuff was happening, those were the things that were getting bonfired. And so before you could, when I would come up in high school, we would sit on somebody's couch that was on the front porch. And then within like 5 seconds, you realize that the cushions are like soaked with what you hope is water. And that now it looks like you just peed your pants or whatever because the bottom of your pants are just soaked. So yeah, I haven't been wanting to sit on those couches for a long time. They make you smell horrible. Whatever relief you get from sitting on it is like not worth all the other stuff that comes with it. So I didn't have an issue with it. I didn't realize buffalo and bison are different. Hey, I didn't know they're different. How are they different? You can eat a lot of bison here. So there's a place that has a bison burger. It's called the Cherry Cricket. I like this art piece a lot. And then if you've been on my streams before, you know low tops mean hookers, high tops mean drugs. So this alley, you can buy one of those two. Or both if it's flash sale. This is the back of a frat. See the basketball hoop and the sign? Oh, Keystone Light. I was like, what's eyes? Eyes Tone Light. Let's see how long it takes for these dudes to realize that they're walking in the middle of a roadway for vehicles. Oh, he just told his friend, he's like, you might want to get over and he got over just enough to not let us by. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna wave to him. Oh, they don't care at all about the wave. Interesting. Ooh, and I can't go through this next alley. Look how thin it is. I wouldn't anyway, because I think the reception's bad up there. When I was visiting my friends up here, the main beer was called Natural Light. Everybody called it Natty Light. And that was like the cheapest beer to fill a keg with or whatever. And then they have a local brewery here. I can't think of the name of the brewery, but they have a beer called Fat Tire. The name of the brewery is right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. But yeah, Fat Tire was a lot more expensive. Like double what Natural Light was. Old school theater. They used to show Rocky Horror Picture Show here a lot. Rose Hill Liquors. Oh, it's a liquor store. Sick. This used to be 7-Eleven, I think. See where it says closed? Pretty sure that was 7-Eleven. This right here on the corner used to be like a place that you could sell your used CDs. So we'd sell like 5 used CDs and get 1 new thing. Peckish coming soon, pizza and wings. This has been a smoke shop here forever. Wildside Smoke Shop. And then this one used to be called the Pipe Fitter since 1973. Now it's just the Fitter. I remember it being the Pipe Fitter. But looking through the window, it looks like they're still pretty much only doing pipes. Well, here's some cowgirls right here. And then this is one of my favorite skate shops. It's called 303 Boards. I buy a lot of like Denver related clothing in there. It's a little bit overpriced, but it supports local skate homies. And this place is called the Waffle Lab. Good food, super expensive. Whoa, look at the whale tail on this dude's Honda. Sheesh. This dude's 3 fast, 2 furious. Oh, and I like this dude's shoes that's getting ready to cross right here. Oh, you can't see him. He has like neon orange shoes on. I like to wear all black and then like colorful shoes, colorful watches, colorful backpack. But then like black everything else. Black pants or shorts, black hoodie, black shirt, black hat. But then super colorful wild shoes and backpack and watch. Is Taco Junkie gone? I don't know. I didn't see it back there. Wow, look at those clouds. So this is kind of what I was talking about. It'll be rainy, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, these beautiful clouds pop out because the sun is behind them, and then they'll get this like crazy silver lining that Linda's always saying like, that doesn't even look real. It's like Bob Ross style clouds. I think these are cumulonimbus clouds. cumulo, nimbus. Oh, this dude has, oh, those are for bikes. See this thing on the back of his truck? That's so you can hang the front tire of your bike off the back. The Simpsons clouds. Look how flat it is on the bottom. So the bottom will be flat and it's usually dark. And maybe that bottom part will rain. But man, some of the most beautiful clouds come sunset time. Oh, to finish, sorry, the story I was telling about that woman that was returning the BMW when I was at the rental spot. She was returning it and she was all chipper and the guy was like, how was your experience? So she was like, oh, it was great. And he goes outside to check the car and he comes back in and he's like, did you get hailed on? And she's like, no, I've had the car in the garage mostly. And he's like, well, there's hail damage all over the car. And she was like, what? Like, you could kind of tell that she was already ready for that, but she threw in the like very animated, like, huh? And the guy was like, yeah. And he took her out and showed her and she goes, well, that must have been there before I rented it. He was like, no, it definitely wasn't. He's like, we do a walkthrough before we rent the car and we show you the different damage on it and document it. And he's like, and this car has all of the different, you know, walkthroughs and it's never been documented that there's hail damage. And she got all huffy and puffy and she was like, well, I'm letting you know right now it didn't hail on the car. And he's like, well, maybe you didn't know that it happened, but it happened. And she's like, well, it's such light damage anyway, you can barely tell. And he's like, no. He's like, this is grape-sized hail. And he's like, if it was smaller than that, if it was like pea-sized hail or whatever, it probably wouldn't have even left a mark. She's like, well, I'm telling you right now, it didn't hail. So then the two people that were working at the Enterprise rental, they pull up this resource that they had that showed the days that it hailed in the area and the amount. And they were like, what area did you have the car in? And she told them like Thornton. And he was like, yep, right here. The day after you rented it, there were reports. He was like, you are responsible. I'm not saying you knew about it. Here's where I tried to start the stream. So you see where the flat looking hill is there. I tried to go up to this building up here. This is called the Atmospheric Research Plant. And the drive to go up there usually has a lot of wildlife. And so I wanted to start the stream with like some deer, maybe some raccoons, something like that. And as I got closer and closer to this area, it cut out at the end of the story. What I was saying is they told this lady that she had hail damage and it was on a newer BMW car. And they were like, yeah, our damage department is going to reach out to you to get payment for the damages on this. And she was really mad. And then I thought they were going to rent me that BMW. So I was all stoked because I was like, oh, cool. If it hails on me, you know, it'll be documented that somebody else has the hail damage. And they said to the lady, we can't even rent this BMW. And she's like, what do you mean? I just drove it here. What do you mean you can't rent it? And they were like, yeah, we can't rent something that's damaged. We have to immediately take this to someplace and have it fixed before we can re-rent it. And she was so mad. And then I was kind of mad because I was assuming that I was going to get that BMW. And then I sat there for another 30 minutes to get into this vehicle that I'm in now, this Buick. And it has a really bad smell. And I don't know how to describe the smell other than it's bad. And you know the Christmas tree air fresheners? When you buy the Christmas tree new, it says open the plastic and just take like the first half of the Christmas tree out because it's so strong that you can't just take the whole thing out. I have 3 of those Christmas trees completely out of the plastic and can still smell whatever smell is in here. And this vehicle has 52,000 miles on it, so who knows when it actually got that smell. But yeah, I had to return the first vehicle I had because it was overheating. It was a Jeep Compass. And the day that I rented it last week, it was 100-degree day and the air conditioner didn't work. And then as I was driving it, it said that the engine temperature was like 300 degrees. And I was just thinking to myself, like, this thing is gonna blow up. I called them and told them about it. I was like, if anything happens, it's not on me. And they were like, you need to bring that back in. So I brought it back in, and then when I was gonna swap it, they didn't have a vehicle for me. You should have said, I'll take it. They check the weather history. Yeah, so as the lady was telling them, like, no, it didn't even hail. I would have known if it would have hailed. They pulled up this this tool that they had, and it was like, yeah, not only did it hail in the town that you said you were in, but then all the surrounding areas as well reported hail. And she was just like, well, I'm telling you it didn't hail. And they're like, it doesn't matter. Like, you saying that it didn't is not enough. Look at the trees over here. There's a lot of wind. It's kind of like moving the vehicle back and forth. We saw gas yesterday for $1.97, and that's the cheapest gas that I've seen in a long time. I think it was Iggy Maldonado that was asking, the president said that gas is $1.99 somewhere in America. It was $1.97 when Linda and I saw it yesterday. And that's the cheapest I've seen in years. I paid $2.33 the other day at Buc-ee's. And there was a place right by Buc-ee's that had it for $2.19. To you. There's a bad reception area right here. Can you still hear me? I'm still waiting to see if it comes back. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Ooh, I don't know if anybody's stuck through that. For some reason, that end of Boulder just gets really bad reception. When it freezes like that, can you still hear me, or is everything stopped? So we're driving uphill right now to leave Boulder. This area right here, it sits in a valley, and so it gets more extreme weather than some of the Denver areas that are up on the hill. So if Denver gets, 2 or 3 inches of snow, Boulder will get another inch or 2 beyond that because it's in this valley. And then also the weather here is just a little different. I like that. I like that it's a little bit more extreme. I am about to end the stream soon. I just didn't want to end it on a freeze point. What up, Lindsay? Ellie, thank you for hanging out in here. JT, Daniel, Doug, Julie. My main goal this week is to try to figure out my electrical problem in my office so that I can do a home stream this weekend. Fingers crossed that goes through. We'll see. And then my goal for today is to either... Well, I don't think they're going to give me my Jeep back. It's 40... Oh, but they're calling me. Hold on. I'll let you hear the conversation. They're calling me right now. Hello?
Hey, Jeremy, Derek. Thing on his side?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So I got everything back together. Did come down in price a little bit, but after everything together, we test drove this thing, ran it. You do have oil coming between the transmission and the engine after the oil pan sealed. Definitely have the rear main seal leaking, like I originally scheduled this for. Pulling that trans. So that is the next step. He definitely doesn't recommend driving it. until the trans is pulled, and recommend replacing that rear main seal.
So, yeah, that's where I'm going to have... I'm already in hot water with my wife for having it be over $5,000.
Oh, man.
I really don't know what to do or to say, because she's like, originally we thought this was going to be $2,000. Then even to think $4,000, she was already like, oh, well, you're selling it. Now that it's over $5,000, she's like, you're 100% selling it. And so I don't know what to do other than to tell you to fix it, because I can't sell it unless it's fixed. But like, realistically, what do you think it's going to be to get back to me? Like, is it going to be $6,000? Is it going to be $6,500? Like, what am I actually looking at?
$6,500. So I did come down. I did come down on the price on the timing chain, because it did overlap a little bit with the oil pan. So you did save, what's the math? Let me see. Oh, and that part of it, I did save you, $657. So I did bring that down off of the timing chain replacement just now, and then put back on your rear main seal replacement with the oil pan, because there was overlapping labor with the oil pan with the timing cover. But again, I mean, who would have guessed that in there? I mean, you definitely would have saved $2,000 there. So that's the unknown stuff that I get in the hot water. But that's something you'd have to be like, babe, like, hey, they were doing the oil pan like I wanted my leaks fixed. They wanted to pull the trans. They held off for a minute to try to save us money. And then they found the guide in there, so they did have to go to the next step. And then I have the guide right here to show you. It's in 2 pieces that came out of the oil pan. And then we wouldn't have want the timing chain to go. Then you're putting a 6.4 liter engine in that car, which you're like, no, like, who's doing that? Like, I mean, you're talking $20,000 there and stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of, and then, we're back to the rear main seal, which you were originally scheduled, of course, to pull the oil pan and pull the trans. Now, if I would have pulled the oil pan and the trans, pulled the diamond cover, so technically would have been in the same situation. I was just trying to hope that all your leak on the oil leak was the back of the oil pan, not that rear main, trying to save you that extra $1,700.
So it is the recommendation that I leave it there for another, how many days would it take to actually like fix it so that the oil's not leaking?
No, absolutely. So he just got to do some injectors on a vehicle tomorrow that was promised to a customer also, just like yours was promised. And then he can go right back on yours right after that. So if it's not, well, I don't think it would be done tomorrow. I think you would be done on Wednesday. So it would go up a little bit with the rental. So if I send it, what are we at? 6 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8. So make it 8 days. So it's just an extra 50 there. But with the removal of the trans and do the rear main. And this is even before, I might as well just put your discount on here now for AAA, because it's not going to be any different. It's still going to be $50 no matter what. Let me put that on here. So we're going to be at, right at that same, $6,517.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna say do it because I don't think I have any other choice.
Okay.
The issue that
I just let her know that the issue. I mean, yes, you came in for the transmission pull and the oil pan, but not planning on the guide breaking and then trying to save $1,700 from the get go. So, yes, it turned into. It just. I mean, the other thing, a 2012 Jeep, so 13 years old. All the rubbers are the same condition. So they are going to get hard as a rock. They're going to dry out. But fixing them, obviously, you're going to take care of the oil leaks. But if you want to get rid of it, you get rid of it. But if you keep it, you keep it. But I mean, I always say, like, price outweighs. I mean, makes financial sense to you. I mean, if you can go buy another 2012 SRT8 or what the value is, and then if you love or hate the car, so you just look at all the best options of what makes most sense.
Yeah, the issue that I'm going to have with my wife is that before I got this repair done, she was like, well, at least get another estimate. And so I went to Cooper Auto in Lafayette, and then he looked at everything and he was like, it's probably something with the oil pan or the gasket. We're not going to know till we get in there. And he quoted $2,000. And then I got the estimate from Stang, and they were like, yeah, it's going to be around $2,200. And she was like, well, I like Stang better, so just have it done through them. I'm gonna go home tonight and be like, yeah, it went from $2,000 to $6,500, and she's already wanting me to sell it, knowing she thought that it would be $4,000, and that was already like, well, it's getting too much to maintain this vehicle. You need to sell it. When I tell her $6,500, she's gonna shit herself, like, and I don't know what else to say, because it's like, after $5,500, there's still an oil leak. She's going to be like, well, how did you not, like, looking at me, how did I not know that it was going to, because she would have just told me to sell it at the 2,000 mark, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Do y'all know even what it's worth, or?
I think it's worth like 32, 33. And then it, like, if you go onto the Carfax to see how much work I have done on it, there's a lot of work that some of the parts are brand new, just because I had a lot of stuff done at the dealership with the engine. But I don't know, like, I'm spending like a fourth of the value of the vehicle on just trying to get the oil leak to stop.
I mean, in this economy, I still think you have like at least probably a $16,000, $17,000 vehicle. I don't know that offhand, but
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. I guess
you're welcome.
I guess do it.
Call me. Hey, you call me if you need a place to sleep, man.
All right. It might come to that. I'll let you know.
No. All right. I'll get this transmission pulled. As I know you want to fix these oil leaks, and I know. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And I'll extend the rental for 2 more days. You're welcome. And I'll keep you updated if I get it finished before Wednesday.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye. So that's a place called Stang Automotive in Broomfield. I had the oil leaking around, I don't know, March, April, and it wasn't bad at all. It was just like a couple drops. And I was like, well, I want to know what that is. And so I took it in to get 2 different quotes. And the first quote said $2,200, and I was like, ooh, that's a lot. And then this guy quoted me $2,000. It was pretty much the same quote, like $2,200. But then he was like, well, we offer a AAA discount, and I'll try to get you some other discounts on the labor. I was like, cool. So originally he said, you know, if we run into any complications, it might be as much as $3,000. He's like, but I don't think it will be. And I was like, ooh, $3,000, that's a lot. Like, just to like pull out of savings. And he was like, but I don't think it'll come to that. We just have to tell you that. And I was like, okay. So yeah, I got into the rental last Tuesday. That was the rental that overheated. And then I had to take it back that next day on Wednesday. I've now been in the rental for a week. He did $5,500 worth of repair. So he took off the oil pan. They resealed the oil pan, which is what they thought the issue was. And then he said, oh, your timing chain is in there, like in pieces. And he's like, well, I have to replace the timing chain and the housing. And I was like, how much is that going to be? And he's like, well, it's going to be around $2,000. So immediately I'm thinking like, okay, that is an upsell, but they, you know, they didn't know that that was an issue until they got in there and got the oil pan off. So as I'm talking to Linda, Linda's like, I've been trying to get you to get rid of this vehicle for so long. She's like, because the maintenance on it is a lot. The issue is when it's running right, it's such an awesome vehicle. When I looked at the overall value, it looks like just to get a 2012 SRT like the one I have, it's about $35,000. But then when I was looking at the ones that, you know, even if I was to swap over to an exact same model and whatever, those had more issues than the one that I had because I've had so many things replaced on it in the last couple years. So that's what I was trying to sell to Linda was, yes, it's got a lot of miles on it, but look at all of the things that we've replaced that add value to it, because all that stuff is on Carfax because I had it done through the dealership. So whenever there's any like major engine repairs or anything like that, they document it on Carfax. So in my mind, if I'm going to sell it, I'm like, hey, there are all these parts that are like only a couple thousand miles old. But to be honest, I just don't see her letting me keep it, especially after a credit card bill with $6,500 just to get an oil leak to stop. And then the guy at the dealership's going to be like, well, now you have all these new pieces. He's going to say to me just what the people at the dealership said to me. Well, now you have all these pieces that are brand new. It's not 100,000 miles on these pieces. They're brand new. And Linda's like, no, you need to just get rid of it. This is going to be a bad night for me. Because she thought I was going to go pick it up for $5,500 and that everything was going to be done. Now I have to tell her, no, they actually are starting on the repair that we originally took it in for right now, which was them saying to get to that gasket, we have to pull out the transmission to get to it. And they're like, and once we're in there, we should do all this other stuff because you're not going to want to pull it again if we see anything. And I'm like, So yeah, I'm gonna look at selling some plasma maybe. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy night. I have to go tell Linda that like a fourth of this vehicle is just going into an oil repair. So yeah, pray for me. I'm gonna have a long night. I thought this was my last day in the rental, but maybe we'll do another stream. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to get a paper route. Thank you to everybody that hung out with me today. That was a cool little trip to Boulder in the daytime. Usually if I'm in Boulder, I have a bunch of stuff to do, so I don't get to sightsee a lot. And worst case scenario, if I don't see you in the next couple days, I will see you this weekend. Hopefully doing a home stream in my apartment if I can get that issue. There's been two major issues. It's been the Jeep issue and then this electrical issue in my office. And then the third thing, which is actually the top priority, is like all the stuff that I'm doing for my mom. I might have to go do like a longer road trip and help her buy a couple things, install a couple things. But I'm okay. I'm here for it. I have a lot of energy and yeah, I still have 2 arms that I can deliver papers with in case I need to get a paper route. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you for hanging out. Mwah. Have a great week. See you soon. Bye.